We're going to be installing the jack shaft bump set on the XF 8800 two-stroke sled. This is a 2014, and this is the new kit from OSP. We're going to do, this part is going to go on the back of your bearing bracket, and this part is going to go into the chassis. So basically we've got the sled ready. We removed the gas tank plastics, the clutch guard, the TCL link, and the clutches. So now basically we just got our jack shaft kind of floating around. You can see it kind of moves around. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install this part, which is going to go right here. And we also have removed this bolt, which can sometimes be tricky if you have a long pipe on your ratchet or something like that. You can usually get to it inside of the tunnel. If not, you can drop it back out of the skid, and it's really easy to get to then. So basically we just take this part here, and we want to make sure we Loctite this bolt onto this washer, or onto this bumper. So we can do that and go ahead and install it. We have our piece set in now, in position. It's going to go through that back bolt, line up these two rivet holes, and go through the bolt that the TCL bolts up to the chassis through behind, and we're going to remove the washer that's under the TCL stock and replace it with this part here, so everything stays the same. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, everything we got is loose, but our bumper's Loctited in. We're going to go ahead and tighten this bolt up, and we made a special tool that looks like this. It just has a socket on the end that you can put a bit in along to, but you could do the same thing just by adding a cheater bar on a ratchet. Okay, so now we got our piece installed, our bolt tightened up, and we're going to use 3 of the stock bolts on the bottom for the TCL, and then we're going to use the 3 included bolts in the kit for the top, and these 3 longer bolts are going to be the bolts that line this up. So when this gets installed into the sled, it's going to be like that, and then it's just going to fit right over the emboss says on the bearing case. And we'll use a big washer and a small washer and a nylock nut, and to hold the bump piece onto the bearing plate. Then we'll just adjust our thing, and you want to make sure you use Loctite on all of those bolts. Okay, so now with all our bolts tightened, we can just go ahead, put a little preload on our adjuster, and installation will be complete. And just do a slight preload so that taking up the rubber space, and go ahead and tighten the jam nut. Alright, and now we'll go ahead and reinstall our clutch guard and use our 2 supplied rivets that we had to drill out earlier to take it off. And that will be the motor jack shaft bumper install on the 8000.